So I'd like to invite you to come to a comfortable sitting position. And you can do that on the floor or in a chair. And as always, if you're very tired and you need to lie down straight away, that's also fine. But I always like to start sitting because I'm talking about breathing at the beginning. And breathing requires us to think about our posture. So I'd like to invite you just to take a moment or two to check in with how your posture is. And when I say check in with your posture, I don't mean that in any dramatic, judging way. I would like you to think about being soft, but also being upright. So there's an expression from the Yoga Sutras, which is stiram and sukham, and it means that any posture or asana that we do, we want to have a sense of alertness, but also a sense of relaxation, of sweetness. So it's kind of like the balance with our posture, but there's no strain there. But equally, there's a slight alertness. So think about, as always, making space between the crown of the head and the tailbone. Think about your ribs, your lower ribs just being open. And then as we're really focusing on Anahata chakra, the heart chakra, think about your heart space. And imagine that you're just lifting up and showing your heart space. So we're not confining ourselves over the heart, we're lifting up. And just very gently draw your shoulders back, shoulder blades together and release, just to help to bring the heart up and into alignment. Soften the shoulders, soften the jaw. Take a moment or two just to observe how the body is feeling without judgment. And then widening the perspective from the body, just see how everything else is. How is the mind? How are the emotions? Just tuning in without judgment. So you're just observing how you are in this present moment. And I'm just going to read out an affirmation to you, which I'd suggest you might like to say silently to yourself. So as I say the words, you might like to repeat them silently. I let go of hurry, anxiety, pressure, and worry. I choose peace, joy, relaxation, and renewal in every inhalation. I have time to enjoy life right here and right now. And then again, continuing to sit comfortably upright. Again, become aware of your body. And with your eyes closed, just be aware of your surroundings. And now become aware of your breath. And then for the next 5 breaths, choose either the word peace or relaxation for the inhalation. And for the exhalation, you might like to choose anxiety or worry. So what you're going to do is inhale peace or relaxation, whichever word you've chosen, and you're going to exhale to release anxiety or worry, whichever word of those you've chosen. So just try that for 5 breaths. So you're inhaling something positive, you're exhaling and letting go of what you want to let go of. Just let yourself be still. And now we're going to do another breathing method, which is very good for helping us to relax more. You might be familiar with this. I quite often do it with you. So we're going to take 2 sniffs in for the inhalation, and then we're going to, on the exhalation, just gently blow out the air through the mouth. So I'll demonstrate. So it's sniff, sniff on the same in breath, and then blow the breath out. So just try that 5 times, up to 5 times in your own breathing rhythm. And then take a moment or two just to observe how you feel from that. And then we're going to just remind our body, our nervous system, of healthy breathing, which helps to regulate the nervous system. So one hand to the heart, the other just below the belly button. And we're breathing into the hand that's below the belly button. So the hand on the heart is pacifying and keeping this area still, taking us out of any hyperventilation or stress pattern. And we're thinking of the breath beginning to slow down. And think of the breath as slow and low. It's not a deep breath, it's a gentle breath. Nothing is forced. And if you can, you breathe through your nose. Because when you breathe through your nose, that helps to increase nitric oxide, helps to filter out any microtoxins. It helps to regulate the air as it comes into the lungs. Just helps us to breathe more healthily, which helps our energy. So slow, healthy breathing through the nose from the diaphragm. If you want to assist the diaphragm, you might like to gently draw the navel into the spine on the out breath, but if you're very fatigued, don't worry about that. And then drop the hands to the knees. Take a moment or two just to observe stillness. If you can, begin to find some stillness there. And the reflective question, which means it doesn't need an answer, you might like to ask, how is my heart? Does it have a message for me? And then we're going to do the chant for Anahata Chakra, which is Om Yum Yum Yum. So if you would like to chant, take one hand to the heart, the other on top. And you're going to chant this to your hearts like a lullaby. So I'll start, but then you do this in your own breathing rhythm and your own pitch. And when you finish, just drop your hands back so I can see you finished. So Om Yum Yum Yum. Om Yum Yum Yum. And then we're going to do one more pranayama, one more breathing movement with movement. So we're going to inhale, open our arms. Actually, we'll start, with the hands together at Namaste, at the heart center. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale and hug ourselves. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale and hug yourself the other way around. So just do that a few times without tiring yourself. Just maybe 5 or 6 times or fewer if you're tired. And really feel that you are nurturing yourself as you hug yourself. And if you want, you can pause and take a couple of breaths before you do the movement again. So have this sense of compassion, self-compassion, and nurturing. And maybe do one more and make this your last. And then when you're ready, please come down to a comfortable lying position. So I suggest you start with your knees bent. You can stretch out the legs a bit later. Have something under your head to help the back of the neck to lengthen. And you can rest your hands on your belly or beside you in the classic Shavasana position with the palms facing up. Draw the heels slightly into the buttocks, bring the knees together if that's more comfortable. And just take a moment or two to adjust yourselves. And while you do this, while you get yourself into Shavasana, the relaxation posture, I'm just going to read a little bit more about the heart chakra out to you. This is the last week we're working on Anahata. So I just want to remind you of some of the qualities that we've been looking at in April. So Anahata chakra is often referred to as the site of that which cannot be destroyed. It's said to be our true self and our center of love and connection. And in the Vedic tradition, this love connection is with the divine, if you believe in the divine, with ourselves and with everybody else. And it's even, if we cross the road or we go into a shop and we look somebody in the eye, we can make that heart connection. We can really see them and they see us, and we can feel our heart actually responding to that kind of connection. The purpose of Anahata is balance, which we see with our breath. It's the gateway of our lower chakras and our more spiritual ones. It's about the right to love and to be loved. But there's always this key point, which is we cannot love fully unless we love ourselves. So this is where the self-compassion and self-respect comes in. It refers to the chest, the lungs, the diaphragm, the shoulders, and our respiration. And the in-breath is about vitality and inspiration. In fact, the word inspiration is Latin, isn't it, for breathing in. And also in some translations of the Bible use the word breath for spirit, inspiration meaning spirit. When the heart chakra is in harmony, we feel safe, we have good intuition and wisdom, we are able to give and to nurture, we're able to have self-care and compassion for ourselves and for others, we have good immunity, we're peaceful and calm, even in times of challenge. So who doesn't want that at the moment? I think we all do. We're open to others, and also we can deal with change. We are curious. So I think that gives a good summary of the heart chakra that we have been working with. So again, as we did from sitting, just draw the shoulder blades together and then relax them. just to open up the heart as you're lying. And again, check in that the jaw hasn't tightened, the eyes are soft. And think about your breathing again. So you transition, just check how your breathing is. And just observe how everything is now. So we're allowing everything to be as it is without judgment. We're just being curious. We're doing our best to keep our awareness in the present moment. And there are two key ways that we can become more present. One is to follow the journey of the breath, but I know not everybody likes that. So the other way is to really feel that you're inhabiting the body and have this sense of being grounded and of the floor or whatever you're lying on, the bed, the sofa, holding you. Have this sense of gravity, allowing you to rest and relax on every exhalation, and feel that whatever is your support is solid and that you can release into that. And then very gently roll your head slowly, slowly from side to side. Just observing how the neck is on one side compared to how it is on the other side. And then centering the head. If you don't have back issues, you might like to begin to stretch out one leg, then the other. Just let one heel drift down and then the other. Bring the palms down beside your hips. Bring the feet together. And we're just going to do a little bit of very gentle movement with the chant if you would like. If you're too tired and you want to just rest out, you can just visualize this and listen. So just do what feels right for you, always listening in and honoring your energy. So we're going to breathe in and lift the arms up behind us so the back of the hands come towards the floor. They might not go all the way down. You might like to widen the arms if that's more comfortable for your shoulders. And then we're going to chant the palms down. Om Yam Yam Yam. So it's like a moving meditation in your own breathing rhythm. Inhale. Om Yam Yam Yam. Optional chants on the exhale. Try that 3 to 5 times, depending on your energy. Slowly, slowly. Everything in yoga should be slow because that's what tells the body it's safe. So if you're still moving, make this your last. Rest with the palms down beside your hips. Slow in breath, slow out breath. Just stop for a moment or two just to let the body recalibrate. Observe how the mantra, if you were chanting, has affected you. And then just, if you would like, enjoy a full body stretch. So inhale, take the hands up behind you. Draw the toes in towards you, pushing away with the soles of the feet. Breathe as you hold. Feel those ribs open. And then when you're ready, soften your stretch. And on an exhalation, bring the hands back, relax the feet. And then take yourself through that once more. Repeat that, but this time point the toes away from you. Maybe holding the stretch for a couple of breaths and then relaxing out on an exhalation. And then if you would like, we're going to bring the knees over the belly. So maybe draw up one knee, then the other. Rock out the spine from side to side. And then take one hand to each knee or below the knee or under the knee, wherever is comfortable for you. And we're going to breathe in and let the knees come away from us as the elbows straighten. And then we exhale and we draw the knees in towards us. Inhale. Exhale. So the movement's following the breath. And then we're going to circle the knees. So inhale, push the knees away from you. Open the knees wide, open the legs wide, the knees bent, draw the knees in towards you, and then draw the knees together. If you're not sure, you can look at the screen. Inhale, knees move away from you, open the legs apart. Exhale, knees in and together. And begin to be aware of what's happening in the pelvis and the hip joint. Moving slowly because you're breathing slowly. So everything is slow, slow down. And then you can reverse that circle. But this time, take your awareness to your lower back. So be aware of the massage around your lower back. And then next time the knees come together, just pause with the knees over the belly, drop the hands down beside you, and become aware of your feet and your ankles. And we're just slowly going to rotate the ankles in one direction, just getting some movement into the ankle joint. And then moving in the opposite direction. And then when you're ready, drop the feet down to your mat with your knees bent. And just take a couple of resting breaths. Take the arms out beside you like a cross, just below shoulder level. And again, just check in. How am I? How is my body? Observe where you're connecting with the floor or your support. And then very gently, just begin to rock the knees from side to side. So they don't go all the way down yet. You're just Gently rocking the pelvis. And then next time the knees come to the right, if they will go there comfortably, take the knees all the way to the right. You can place a cushion there if you like, and rest here, looking over your left shoulder. So you're just resting into a twist. And then when you're ready, inhale and bring the knees back to center the head. Take a couple of resting breaths. And then exhale and take the knees over to the left and roll the head to look over the right shoulder this time. Resting in the twist, just taking a couple of breaths. Inhale, center the knees and the head. Draw the knees into the belly and just rock out the spine from side to side just to neutralize the twist. And then when you're ready, drop your feet to the mat. And then please get ready for yoga nidra.